Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about taking responsibility. And I don't mean taking responsibility for tasks at work or your job. What I'm talking about is taking responsibility for everything in your life. And I mean everything. I think so many people rely on others to make them happy, to do things for them. They also, while taking responsibility, blame other people for the things that they are feeling, when actually it's the person feeling that's got the responsibility. You can change your life in an instant as soon as you realise that it's you thinking and having those emotions rather than the other person doing something to create those emotions. And the reason why I'm saying this today is because I had an argument yesterday. I'm not going to go into the detail, but during the argument, I said, "You are making me feel." And I stopped myself. I had the presence of mind. I was fuming, but I had the presence of mind to stop myself and say, actually, I'm feeling this. I turned it around and said, it's not about you, but I am feeling this. So I need to tell you that I'm feeling this. Whether they're interested or not is irrelevant. But that realisation calmed me down and made me realise that I'm relying on that person to make me happy when they can't make me happy. I have to make myself happy. If spending time with them makes me happy, then I can choose to do that. But if I'm choosing not to be happy, then I will never be happy. That's down to me. It's down to you. It's down to you in your life. If you're constantly arguing or blaming someone else for your happiness or your sadness, then you will never ever be free of that other person. Now, let's just take that a step further. What happens if that person leaves you? Do you stop being happy? Is that the end of your happiness reign? If that person passes away, because that person makes you happy, does that mean that your life is over and you'll never be happy again? Is there nobody else on the planet that can make you happy? Should you be looking for someone to make you happy, or should you be looking within? Now, a long time ago, I mentioned that I had quite a bad relationship, and up until that point, from about the age of 16, 17, I'd had constant stream of girlfriends. Surprising, I know. And when I finally reached the end of that really bad breakup, I had some time as a single man. And that period of time, it was about 6 months, I went to some dark places. And I don't mean dimly lit. I mean, I went to some dark places in my mind. However, during that period of time, I also realised that those dark places aren't as scary as I thought they were. Hear the word thought. I thought they were scary. So that was my own doing. I'd stayed in relationships. I'd put up with a lot of physical and mental abuse. And then I realised that I am stronger than that. And also that alternative is not as bad as me being on my own. And the moment I realised being on my own was actually okay, that I could live with my own thoughts and enjoy my own company, I found somebody that actually made me happy, which is bizarre. And it's almost like that phrase where you say, if you let it go into the universe, something good will come back. Now, that person, my wife, makes me happy. That's the phrase I use. She makes me happy, but I just enjoy spending time with her. We've got a lot of shared interests. We both love music and gigs and things like that. But I believe that if she were to leave me, or she were to sadly pass away, and I don't want to talk about that today, I would still be able to find happiness, because the happiness is coming from within me rather than from her. And I think a lot of people, when they're thinking about their problems in their life, they don't take responsibility for them in the same way that I wasn't taking responsibility for my thoughts and feelings in relationships prior to my current situation and prior to that time when I was single. So if you are in a predicament where you are constantly feeling sad, then you have to look within to find out what you're doing to actually attract that feeling or create that feeling? Is it your thoughts? Is it your emotions that react to the thoughts? Is it something from your past that is stopping you from having that realization? You can't keep palming off the blame to other people. You have to take responsibility for your own happiness today. And as soon as you do, you feel empowered. I feel empowered. I feel that I am not invincible, but I feel that I can definitely handle a period of loneliness, breakup. Also, it helps you deal with your own mortality. It helps you deal with loneliness. I'll be talking about that in another session. Just make sure that you don't palm off that responsibility, because life is about having thoughts and feelings, and those thoughts and feelings shape your emotions and your life. And if you don't own them and you don't take ownership of them, then they will constantly control you. You will constantly be the victim. You will constantly feel blamed for things. You will constantly be worried about your job. You'll be constantly worried about your house. You'll be constantly worried about your relationships or your relationships with your kids. You need to take ownership of everything. Right, the boiler's broke. Well, that's the previous owner. No. Have you checked it? Have you gone and had it serviced? Have you updated it? Have you spent any money on it? You know, if you, I don't know, if your car breaks down, is that the mechanic's fault for not seeing it during the MOT? Is it your fault for not understanding mechanics? Is it your fault for buying a knackered old car? It's not the mechanic's fault that you've bought a banger, is it? Up until this minute now, every single decision, up until you're watching this video, hopefully to the end, please consider liking and subscribing, has been your decision. No one else's. You choose to be in a relationship. You choose to buy a dodgy car. You choose the house with a bad boiler. You choose the job that you're in. You choose to stay in the job you're in. You choose to stay in the relationships that you're in. You choose to eat certain types of food. You choose to drink the alcohol. No one is holding a gun to your head to drink alcohol. No one's holding a gun to your head to go to McDonald's every night and spend all your money. And no one is encouraging you to go online gambling, I'm sure. So please, take responsibility for your own actions. You will feel better and you will be able to make better decisions. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.